E3 starts this weekend, so I say goodbye to my family. Steam tells indies, it's just $100, baby. Nintendo delays online services and more. It's the news of the week. I'm always proud of myself that when the opening, Josh can't stop but giggle in the background.
Yeah, it means it was a good one.
Yeah, I made it through, though. I cut it short.
It means it was hilarious.
So let's start by talking about E3. It's by the time this video is published, Monday or Tuesday, E3 will be this weekend from that standpoint.
All right.
And
Las Vegas, right?
No.
All right. Wherever they hold that thing. San Diego.
L.A.
Like
right in our backyard.
All right.
Yeah, it's in L.A. It's pretty much the biggest news week for video games every year. I mean, it's not the biggest meeting, not the biggest conference. Gamescom is probably the biggest. That's in Germany. It's something like 200,000 people go to that every year.
Is E3 open to the public? Or one day is, or a couple days are?
This year it is. You have to buy tickets.
Yeah.
But it is open. Also, there's satellite things. For example, if you just go to where E3 is, there'll be events and tents and stuff outside of the Bay Area.
Okay.
So I've done that before and just kind of checked out what's going on around E3.
Worth it?
If you live in LA, certainly. I wouldn't travel from afar for that. You'll probably be disappointed.
Yeah.
Also, another cool thing is Sony, for example, relays their press conference to movie theaters. So there's certain movie theaters you can go to all around the nation to watch the Sony press conference as if you're at the press conference.
That is commitment to news, because you could also watch it on your phone on your couch.
Yeah.
Or
just about anywhere.
Yeah.
It seems like what they should have done, the low-hanging fruit, was make it about PSVR. Totally make it a VR experience.
Oh, you can only watch the press release live if you have VR.
And and they have like a seat that they've programmed to be everybody's seat.
Yeah, it's cool.
So you can just sit and look around.
That would be. Yeah, they should do that.
That would have been smart.
Yeah,
I never heard of anything like that.
Creative marketing right there.
They should just give me lots of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all we really need.
Copyright that.
A couple of things to note. If you're looking for an E3 like me, EA isn't there, but they're still doing their own press conference. It'll be Saturday, June 10th at 11:30. Microsoft and Bethesda will both be on Sunday, 1:30 and then 8:30 p.m. respectively. There's going to PC gaming show, but that is only on Monday, and they haven't announced the time yet. And then also on Monday is Ubisoft and Sony, 12:30 and 5:30 p.m. respectively. And Nintendo won't have a press conference there on site, but they always do like a Nintendo Direct, and that will be on Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. These are all Pacific Standard Times. And there's also a Devolver Digital Conference. It's the first Devolver Digital Conference at E3. They have announced neither time nor day, so I don't think anybody knows anything about that. Yeah. But all we know is they're planning on something on some day.
You're a big fan. I know you're a big fan of that.
I really like Devolver Digital. Essentially, I mean, it's an oxymoron, but they feel like the indie publisher.
Yeah.
Right. They're a publisher, which means they're not indie, and their games really aren't indie, but they feel like AAA indie games.
Yeah.
Hotline Miami being one of their big ones that they've published. And I like Devolver Digital games. They're great games. So wanted to ask you, what are you guys looking forward to this year? Is there anything that you're sort of hoping to see?
Yeah, and if I don't see it, I'm kind of done with video games. You'll never see me again.
Okay.
Half-Life 3. If I don't see Half-Life 3, I'm giving up.
Garrett, it's good to know you.
I mean,
I wish you well on your next thing.
I feel like I don't even know why you would not create a game. I know they're not creating many more games anymore. They're kind of creating their engines and they're focusing on Steam. But can you imagine just the total fan meltdown if you released a sick Half-Life 3 game? Next gen graphics.
Let me give you two guarantees.
1080 Ti optimized. It would be people would freak out.
Two guarantees here. Guarantee number one.
Never happening.
If Half-Life 3 is made, it will be an Oculus exclusive.
Why do they own it?
Or not Oculus, but wait, are they involved with Oculus? No, they're involved with Vive, right? Vive.
I don't remember.
It will be.
No,
It will
would
be
also freak out about that.
Exclusive to the Vive.
Yeah, that means that your minimum amount to play Half-Life 3 is like $1,000.
Right, and then guarantee number two, it's not happening. Nothing's happening. There's going to be no Half-Life 3.
Why even do that? Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he has $1 billion. He doesn't have to do anything.
I know, but it's like this. It's like remaking Firefly. Like, it'll happen eventually, because the fans want it. So what are they like waiting for?
They're not waiting. They're just doing other things.
This become video game lore. Okay, all right. Other than that,
Okay.
I think I'm really looking forward to. Ironically, the Last of
It's
Us 2,
Oh, okay.
because I've never played Last of Us 1, but I want to, and now I like the fact that there will be a sequel when I finish it. Right, so I haven't played it yet, so it's kind of like I didn't have to wait 5 years like all the chumps out there had to wait 5 years. I might have to wait a year.
I see what you're saying.
You know, it's like when you hold off when you watch Westworld or something like that, and you only have to wait 2 years for season 2 or something like that.
So classic hipster move: A, appealing to irony, and B, jumping on board way late when it's already a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on so late that I'm like, oh look at that, the sequel's out. Huh. I didn't know that. Let me pick that up and try it. You know?
Okay. Chris, what about you?
Scorpio.
Oh, yeah. So they've already announced the specs, and it lived up to the 6 teraflop hype that it's definitely going to be that. Still, though, not quite as powerful as some people had hoped. Certainly an impressive machine and the most powerful console when it comes out. But it didn't seem like it was going to bring like that 4K 60 frames per second hardcore graphics like some people hoped.
I'm just curious to see how it shifts the market.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 4K 60.
Well, it's going to be able to. It's going to have 4K graphics. It's going to be able to play on 4K televisions, 4K graphics. But people were kind of hoping for, kind of like
future proof.
Yeah, just like basically a system made to run well on 4K, as opposed to like trying to just like live up to 4K.
Yeah, but even like a lot of the top video cards. Excuse me. It can't run 4K 60 frames per second.
Right.
On certain games.
And most 4K televisions aren't any more than 60 hertz because there's just nothing that can like do 120 hertz on a 4K, and yeah, so it's
I
just
know, it's funny that
point.
You're watching this separation between TV technology and video games getting wider than it has in the past, because 4K TVs have been out for 6-7 years, and 4K HDR TVs have been out for 2 years, and game consoles are just now having the ability to maximize those technologies. It's interesting. It wasn't always like that. You know?
I think the problem really is that there isn't a movie medium taking off for 4K. Like that's what pushed HD. It wasn't really video games. It was the fact that Blu-rays and HD DVDs took off, and then that attracted video games to like then move into that sphere. Right.
Well, how do you get the media of 4K? There's no discs that can play that.
YouTube and Netflix have 4K.
Well, there is Ultra HD Blu-ray, but that's not taking off. I mean, I think this is also because there's no discs anymore. Like we're moving away from a physical medium, which means we're also moving away from something to propel us and to talk us into the next generation.
Right.
Because it used to be like just seeing all those Blu-rays or all those HD DVDs was like, that's a good reason to think about getting
Now, what about
Blu-ray.
games? What percentage of games are 4K or can be played in 4K?
They're starting to come out more for consoles with PC.
All the AAA games are 4K?
PC works differently than consoles when it comes to this.
So like Call of Duty, Battlefield, those are all 4K?
I couldn't tell you game for game. I mean, I know that a lot of your, like in the last year, the exclusives, most of them had 4K ability. I know like the Tomb Raider game, the most recent one.
But it's upscaled 4K, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So it's not even, it's produced. It's not produced in 4K. It's not created with 4K.
Maybe you're getting at the other problem is that there's just not enough like concrete information out there. Like this is a 4K game. Like you could play it on your 1080p, but
you could play like Battlefield 1 in 4K.
Okay.
On your PC.
Yeah, on the PC.
A PS4.
But good luck. You better have some serious computing power to make it happen.
Okay. So that is an issue.
There's no console that even the Scorpio won't.
So that's my prediction. Lots of 4K games going to be announced this year at E3.
Okay.
There's going to be some 4K announcements. I think there better be some 4K HDR games. I think Far Cry 5, I think that should totally be 4K.
Yeah.
Because that would be sick.
I think it's a Far Cry from that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing substantive news on Final Fantasy VII with like a trailer of the real gameplay and like a real announcement for when it's coming out. But that was pretty much shot in the head last week when Square Enix pretty much said like Final Fantasy 7 and Kingdom Hearts 3 are going to come sometime in the next 3 years. It's like, oh, jeez.
That means 3.5 years from now they'll,
right.
they'll make an announcement.
So that was kind of like the big thing I was looking forward to, is like a real substantive update on Final Fantasy 7 and what it is and when it's coming. Also, it seems like we shouldn't have our hopes up anymore for Final Fantasy 7 because development has moved from being a third party to being in-house studio with Square Enix, which leads one to wonder, well, what happened with that third party? Did like things go off the rails or whatever? So, and anytime something goes off the rails, it just slows it down.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what I'm looking forward. I guess what I'm most looking forward to is what is Devolver Digital bringing to the table. Like, you have to have, you know, like a year or two ago, I think it was 2 years ago, Bethesda did their first E3 press conference, and people were wondering, like, do they have enough to announce to have their own press conference? And they blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
They're supposed to have a big one this year too, right?
Right.
Like CD Projekt RED.
What?
Yeah, they have a big announcement.
Oh, as much as I want it to be Witcher 4, it's going to be something with Cyber...
Their
what's that game
sci-fi
called?
thing they're doing.
What's that Cyber game?
I don't know the name of it.
It's Cyber 2077, but it's not
Hard
Cyber...
sci-fi. I could totally get behind that. Witcher in space. I would be down with that.
Geralt killing space monsters.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Also known as aliens. That's cool.
Okay.
I think we're going to see a little bit of a retro trend, right? You said Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is being released.
I feel like they keep trying to push the retro trend, and everyone's like, stop trying to make it happen.
Well, right, it's cheaper, right, to redo Crash Bandicoot and make a couple mil than to make a brand new game from scratch with hiring developers and storyboard artists and everybody to create a game. Here's the game. Can you guys make it look better? You know, you could do that on Fiverr probably. So they'll just save a lot of money, and then
on Fiverr.
hopefully people will buy it enough to make their money back.
So, Chris, let's move on this. Steam had a big announcement for indie companies. What was that?
$100. $100.
They said, give us $100.
It used to be free, just no cost.
No. What it used to be is if you didn't have a publisher, you had to make it through Steam Greenlight, which was a whole Steam community that had
a vote. Yeah, I did that. I voted on some games.
So they put that down, right? They took it outside into the backyard and they shot it in the head and they dug a hole and buried Steam
Buried
Greenlight.
it next to Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And then they announced that they were going to come up with some kind of a fee, and they had, if you wanted to develop without a publisher, you had to pay this fee.
Does that mean you automatically get on Steam if you pay the $100 and your game sucks?
Well, people are thinking, man, this must be Steam wanting to control things and curate things more, so they'll probably make it like a $10,000 fee or a $1,000 fee to really basically kind of clear out, bring in better games, like let the cream of the crop. You know, basically, you had to believe in your game to get it onto Steam, and to everybody's surprise, nope, $100.
Yeah,
which means probably even more games are gonna be flooding into Steam. It's gonna be like the App Store.
Yeah, like tons of 1-star, 2-star, no star, or tons of 5 stars that have 2 reviews, and it's like, this game was excellent, and they all say that. From one guy in Pakistan.
And for one, I'm okay with Steam being fairly open in this way if Steam also had curated content as well. If like there was a page we could go to where it's like Steam's top 100, or if it was
I'm sure they'll have
if they had like really great editors picks lists or something like that. But
maybe you could be a Steam editor, game editor.
Yeah, I wish they would.
Wouldn't that be cool? Like,
do they hire
James
old uncool people? Because I am definitely that.
Hey, you put enough time into Borderlands 2 that you should be able to do that.
That's true. They should just look at my Borderlands 2 hours.
Your stats,
just hire me.
Look how many medals he has. He could totally review these games.
They'll probably ask me if I've played Half-Life.
Can you imagine that? It'd be like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 of video games. You'd be like, okay, this one totally sucks, but let's talk about it and review it. Here's my pixelated blob, and here we are. Oh, game's over.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think about this $100 Steam thing?
I think that's a hard. It's hard to set that bar, right? Because we were talking about that earlier. That $100 to an American developer is very different than $100 to one guy just going for it on his own in some other part of the world,
right?
Where he makes $4 a day at his day job,
right?
So it's kind of weird. But then, how do you set a sliding scale based on? I mean, it's just there's no good way to do it. It seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, if the game is good, you'll make your $100 back, right? Because people have to pay for it. But if your game is bad, you can automatically get in by giving $100. So that's my only concern. I mean, I guess the rating system
It
is
reminds me a
good.
little of L.A. Like we were banned. A lot of places in L.A. want you to sell the tickets for the
Right.
show, so you have to sell like 100 tickets or whatever at $10 a ticket.
Hmm.
But what ends up happening is if you don't sell the tickets, you just pay the difference. And so all
Right.
the bands playing are just bands that could afford
Pay to play.
Yeah. So you go to see a show and it's not necessarily good bands. It's just people who like, oh, our drummer's parents had enough money to cover the.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure they'll figure that out though, because that happens in all these aggregates of video games. I mean, the App Store, for example, so much junk on there you don't even see it because Google doesn't let it rise up to the front page.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
All right, switch us over to Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Kind of half news here, but the Nintendo Switch came out. A lot of people are swearing by it. It's selling very well for a Nintendo opening console. I mean, it's selling like Wii well, but the difference is it probably won't have the legs Wii does. Wii had about 7 years to sell, and it was strong.
Yeah.
So, but it's it's doing well, and Psyonix, the makers of Rocket League, have first released their game on PC and PS4, and later on the Xbox One. It is it's basically the indie developer dream situation. When it first came out, it was $19.99 on PC, Steam, I believe.
What?
And it was free.
$19.99.
It was $19.99 on PS4, but it was free for PS Plus owners.
Oh, I thought you meant year 1999. I was like,
No.
dang, this is a remake. Okay.
$19.99.
Yeah.
$20. It was $20 for both PC and PS4, but it was free for PS Plus people. And that's how I got it. I got it for free with my PS Plus subscription. And it took off. Last time I checked, and I know these are old numbers, it has something like 20 million users.
It's because of the videos people share online of the ridiculous goals.
It's a lot of fun. Once you actually play it,
it is a lot of fun.
Addictive. Have you played it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Your youth people must have.
No, one of my friends brought it over, like, a dinner. He brought his PS4 over just to play. He's like, you got to play Rocket League. So he brought his PS4 over, brought controllers, and we played for a couple hours.
Over a fine Chianti?
It's like a birthday dinner at my parents' house, but it was fun.
Did you, I'm surprised you haven't had your youth group play it because it's like
we don't have a PS4. We don't
get one. Get one, Garrett.
I need to.
I saw the video of your fancy new youth group room.
I know, it's sweet. It does need a PS4. I just got to check the budget.
Okay. You spent a lot of
If you want to donate one, I'd be more than happy to give you a tax write-off right now. I can get you a form, tax ID, whatever. If you want to donate one, go ahead.
Church has enough money.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, it's a lot of fun. People who haven't played it absolutely should.
I think it would suck on the Switch, though.
Yeah?
That football or that ball is really, it's going to be really small on a 7-inch screen. I mean, you know what I mean? You're going to think it's fun because you're going to play it most of the time maybe up close, but you're like, oh, a friend wants to play, let me set it down on the table. It's just going to be really difficult to see.
Right.
Not that you need high detail, but because there's a lot of precision aiming, decent amount because you're jumping in the air and you kind of don't have a lot of control. I think it's going to be a little bit hard. I think the bigger the screen for Rocket League, the better. So a 7-inch screen is like the size of a Wii U controller. I mean,
right. Psyonix has not confirmed that the game's coming to Switch, but people have been asking them.
I'm sure
they think it'd be a perfect Switch game, having that game on the go, essentially. But and Psyonix said they're looking into it. I think the unspoken problem here is probably Nintendo's online features. Is that Rocket League is an online-intensive game. It's balancing a lot of things at once, a lot of physics at once, up to 8 players at once. And when you look at the history of online Nintendo games over the last 8 years, over the last few consoles, they generally don't have online-intensive games, really. Especially not ones that are balancing a lot of physics.
Right.
So I think that's
for all different IPs and countries would be something you see on Nintendo games.
Right. So moving on from there, let's see what our next piece of news is. I haven't queued it up already because I'm not that good of a host. Nintendo, back on that topic, has announced that they are delaying their Nintendo Switch Online features. They're like full online, what you might call it, subscription service. To 2018, but they're also...
What does that mean? Oh, they're PS Plus equivalent?
Right.
Okay.
But they're also have reevaluated what the original plan was. People weren't too happy with the original plan, but the new one sounds nice. I believe it's $20 a month. Not a month. Sorry, it's $20 a year, which is pretty cheap. And for that, you get a almost like a Netflix style subscription service where there's a number of games that are accessible anytime you want to play them. They're mostly classic games, but Nintendo's going to add online features to these classic games.
Huh.
So I don't know what that would be because they haven't been very
like clear. Dragon Boat, but with like other people online.
Like I was imagining, like, I mean, again, Nintendo has not made clear exactly what they mean by all of this, but imagine Super Mario 3 with online multiplayer.
Okay, don't get your hopes up. How would you?
Garrett
that would be epic.
They got salty.
Yeah, but they're gonna take obscure games.
You're like, shut up, James.
Yeah, seriously. What are you thinking? Online multiplayer, a side-scrolling classic. Super Mario 3. I don't know how that would work. They're gonna take some obscure game you never heard of, like Jeopardy 1995, and make that multiplayer. At first.
How about Battletoads online?
Okay, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Pre-order it now.
That would be awesome. But how would you do Mario multiplayer? I mean, I guess maybe like a Little Big Planet style, kind of people just kind of join in your game and help you.
Well, you're trying to like jump to the next platform, and then somebody shoots you in the head, comes over and teabags you.
Oh,
That's what it would look like.
Yeah, it would just be stupid. Oh, like, and there'd be like level building parts of it, you know. And it's like, oh, let's try this person's thing, and you get in there, it's just nothing but Boombas everywhere. I don't know.
Okay, let's switch over now to
oh gosh
to the PS Plus versus Games with Gold for this week.
Hey, I signed up for PS Plus, so I'm excited. I haven't even logged in yet to see what my June games of the month are. So.
Can I tell you now?
Yes, please do.
So you will get Killing Floor 2. That's a $39.99 value. That's a new game.
PS4 game. I don't have a PS4, but I'll purchase it so that when I get a PS4.
Here's a game you really should play once you have your PS4. Life is Strange will be free to you. It's a $19.99 value. Another game called Abyss Odyssey, which I've never played.
What are any of those? Can you just like a one sentence on these
Life
games?
is Strange. It's sort of like a Telltale game in which there's a lot of what?
Chris hates Telltale games.
It's kind of by your decision making, choose your own adventure. It involves a girl who
has cancer. Is this the cancer game?
No.
Okay.
Why did you say that so excitedly?
No, I don't know. It just because I kind of sound familiar.
I think you're referring to That Dragon Cancer.
Yeah.
No, this is more of a fictional narrative that the girl gets the power to rewind time on the fly. And so you can make decisions, but then still rewind those decisions and repick decisions. And it uses the rewind mechanic in the story, and everything gets all fouled up as time travel stories always do.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
That sounds cool.
Josh and I played it. Josh, did you like it? Yell.
Yeah, it was sick.
Awesome. Okay. So that's the official from Josh. Also, you can enjoy Neon Chrome, Spy Chameleon games I've not played, sorry. WRC 5 FIFA
WRC.
World Rally Championship.
I'm all about rally car.
That is for
Josh knows that.
A total
Subaru
value,
STI 130 miles an hour. What?
A total value of $124.94.
Okay. Yep.
That's what you get. Over on the Xbox side, Games with Gold, you get Speed Runners, Dragon Age Origins. That's kind of a weird one out of left field, isn't it, Chris?
It's a big game.
Yeah, that game came out 10 years ago. Watch Dogs. That's another kind
really?
of...
Watch Dogs is free?
Yeah, and Assassin's Creed 3.
What? All right, that's probably the better deal right there.
And Phantom Dust, which is supposed to be a pretty darn good game. And all of that is a retail value of $94.95.
Really?
Over on the Xbox side.
I guess the PS4 is still better deal monetarily.
I would say that the Games of Gold side has...
What's the first PS4 game you mentioned?
Killing Floor 2.
What is that?
It's a new game. I believe it's a multiplayer, like, deathmatch kind of game,
Shooter?
think.
Like a shooter or a fighting game?
I think it's a shooter. I hope I'm not wrong in this. I haven't double-checked. But I think over on the Xbox side, you're getting tentpole games of yesteryear. So if you haven't played them, now you're getting them for free, and that's a great value.
Yeah.
Over on the PlayStation side, you're getting newer, smaller games.
Yeah.
And a lot more of them.
I feel like, and you said this about PS4 before, I feel like the Xbox side, the vast majority of people like have those games already. They're popular games. Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed. I think that they're like kind of bummed, I would think, a little bit. Xbox people right now. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, maybe the 12-year-olds out there whose parents bought them an Xbox and have no idea they can download these games that are MA. They're like, oh, sweet.
I gotta see
the
what
Watch Dogs. They're like...
The Watch Dogs.
Yeah, because their parents didn't have to buy them that. They just like get all these sick games they weren't allowed to play. Now they get them every month.
Okay, well, I think that's it, Chris. We at Game Club want to thank you for watching this video. And if you would, please like, subscribe right here, watch a couple extra videos, and keep playing games.